Many similarities exist between administrative activities in the public and private sectors. In fact, many elements of public administration have their roots in the private sector. But the notion that there are important differences between public and private administration is undergoing some intense scrutiny. Although some parallels do exist, there's also critical differences among the private, public, and nonprofit sectors. In both settings, managers and those to whom they're accountable have an interest in running programs that are properly designed, appropriately directed to meeting their intended goals, efficient in expenditure and organizational resources, and effective in their results. Public and private managers are both concerned with meeting their staffing needs, motivating subordinates, obtaining funding, and conducting their operations to promote the survival and maximum impact of their programs. All of this involves some politics, both internal and external to the organization. There are agreements to be reached and maintained, and gains and losses to be realized. On the other hand, important elements of the managerial environment differ for the public, nonprofit, and private manager. One fundamental difference is that in the private sector, products or services are purchased by individuals based on their own needs or wants. In the public sector, however, the goal of the manager historically has been to operate programs and provide services on a collective basis, supported in the great majority of cases by tax revenue. Another key difference is that private organizations define their markets and set their own broad goals, whereas public organizations and managers are obligated to pursue goals set for them by their legislatures. Public managers have relatively little freedom to alter basic organizational goals, while private managers can use an internal measure to evaluate their organization's performance. Public managers are subject to evaluation by the public, who have the critical last word in judging how well public organizations fulfill its responsibility. Other differences also exist. Many public organizations have held a virtual monopoly on providing certain essential public services and consequently have been able to survive without providing the highest quality performance. Unlike private sector management primarily concerned with profit, there are often conflicting incentives among citizens, elected representatives, and administrative supervisors and leaders. Without clear goals, an organization will not function as well. Most public organizations lack clear accountability for decisions made. Separations of power among branches of government is one factor, and fragmented executive branch authority in most large governments is another. In contrast, centralized executive responsibility is a key feature of many profit-oriented organizations. Also, unlike private corporations, public organizations entrust a fair amount of decision-making responsibility to citizen groups, courts, and various types of boards or commissions. A clear chain of command may not be possible because of numerous opportunities for outside pressures to influence the power hierarchy. There are still other important differences. Public sector managers frequently operate within structures designed by other groups in an environment where they're subject to scrutiny and criticism from the press, others outside the agency, and the general public. There's also a growing tendency for governments to contract with private and nonprofit firms for services such as corrections, garbage collection, military security, social services, and fire protection. This has led to a greater interest in privatization as well as partnerships and direct delivery of services through faith-based and nonprofit agencies. Even these emerging realities do not change the fact that there are significant differences between public and private management.